Marcus Aurelius famously stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." In a world where emotions can feel like stormy waves, how can we find our anchor? Join us as we examine 7 Stoic teachings that can help you master your emotions and navigate life's storms with steadfast resolve. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you could like the video so that I can continue to spread the Stoic philosophy. If you haven't already subscribed, I recommend you do so and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Lesson number 1. Understand what you can control. Have you ever been trapped in a storm? Not the kind that brings rain and thunder, but the storms of life. Unexpected events, disappointments, or abrupt transitions. The Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece and Rome taught us about the dichotomy of control, which feels like an anchor in these turbulent times. Consider this: you're preparing an outdoor event, and despite all of your efforts, it pours. You can't control the weather, no matter how much you want to, but you can choose how you react to the rain. You may grieve, become frustrated, or adapt, perhaps moving the event indoors or viewing the rain as a welcome change. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was born a slave and ascended to become one of the most prominent philosophers of his day, expressed it succinctly: "Some things are under our control, and others are not." It sounds simple, yet it contains profound wisdom with the capacity to transform our lives. Every day we are confronted with a variety of scenarios, some of which we have control over, such as our daily routines, the books we read, or the company we keep. But many things are beyond our control: global events, the actions of others, the passage of time, and, yes, the weather. Here's where things get interesting. The Stoics thought that how we understand and respond to external circumstances determines our well-being, not the events themselves. Our emotions are caused by our judgment of the experience rather than the event itself. Consider a period when you experienced a setback, such as not landing the job you want. It felt like a disaster at the time, but over time, you may have recognized it was a blessing in disguise, leading you to a greater opportunity or personal progress. How can we put this into practice? Begin by asking yourself, is this something I have control over? If the answer is yes, then take action. If the response is no, this provides an opportunity to exercise acceptance and adaptability. We can avoid a needed sorrow if we fully understand and internalize this principle. We can manage life with peace of mind, knowing that while we can't control the wind, we can change our sails. In a world that can feel chaotic at times, the paradox of control serves as a beacon of clarity, telling us to focus our energy where it is most needed and to accept the peace of knowing that some things are simply beyond our reach. Lesson number 2: to reflect before reacting. In today's digital world, where immediacy is often praised, the art of reflection may appear to be a thing of the past. However, the act of sitting and considering might be our saving grace in a world that expects quick reactions. Consider how many times we are presented with decisions, large and small, from selecting a meal at a restaurant to deciding on a job. The range of options is huge, but it is not the quantity of these decisions that is important, it is how we approach them. Let's look at a common scenario: reading a letter that touches a nerve. Perhaps a coworker is doubting your job, or a buddy makes an offhand comment. The natural reaction may be defensiveness or wrath, but what if, instead of rushing headfirst into that emotional whirlwind, you took a step back? Allowing oneself that moment of detachment does not mean denying your feelings, rather, it allows them to breathe and be understood. This discipline of introspection is not about passive acceptance or avoidance. It is about actively engaging with our ideas and feelings. It is about asking probing inquiries, such as, why did this comment affect me so deeply? What underlying beliefs or experiences are shaping my current emotions? Is my instant reaction based on the current situation or on past experiences? Furthermore, reflecting before reacting increases empathy. Giving ourselves time allows us to examine the viewpoints of others. Perhaps that coworker had a tough day, or that buddy underestimated the impact of their remarks. Reflection allows us to gain insight not only for ourselves, but also for those around us. In partnerships, this technique can be foundational. How many misunderstandings could be avoided if we took time to think before reacting? How many bridges could be built rather than burned? In professional contexts, the capacity to halt and reflect is extremely valuable. Leaders who pause before making a choice are frequently more respected and effective. They are seen as thoughtful, measured, and wise. Their conclusions, which stem from reflection, frequently withstand the test of time. In a society that frequently appears to be moving at breakneck pace, the act of meditation becomes a type of rebellion. A quiet, yet strong message that we will not be carried away by the currents of immediacy. It is a commitment to ourselves, our well-being, and the quality of our connections with the outside world. In essence, reflecting before reacting is more than a habit. It is a philosophy, a way of life that values depth over breadth, comprehension over impulse, and meaningful connections over brief exchanges. It is an interior journey with significant external repercussions, altering not only our answers but also the fundamental fabric of our existence. Lesson number 3. Practice dispassion. In a society that frequently feels like an emotional roller coaster, practicing dispassion may seem out of place. But let's go further into what it genuinely signifies and the transforming potential it possesses. Dispassion does not imply suppressing feelings or becoming apathetic to the world around us. It is about cultivating a balanced perspective, a sense of peace in the midst of a storm. Imagine being able to watch events, situations, and even your own feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. Consider the last time you watched a captivating movie. There were times of stress, exhilaration, and perhaps even despair. While you were immersed in the plot, a part of you realized it was only a film. You didn't rush to help the hero or comfort the grieving character. You observed, you sensed, but you stayed sitting. This is the essence of practicing dispassion, being intimately engaged with life, feeling its myriad emotions, but also understanding when to sit in the theater of your mind, observing without being engrossed in it. This method becomes a lifeline in today's world of information overload. Every day, we get overwhelmed with news updates and notifications. Reacting strongly to every piece of knowledge would leave us exhausted indefinitely. Dispassion provides a buffer, a mechanism to interact with the world in a more sustainable and balanced way. Dispassion plays an important part in interpersonal relationships. We've all been in situations where conversations become heated and arguments develop. In such situations, exercising dispassion might be the difference between a fruitful conversation and a destructive debate. It enables us to listen more effectively, respond rather than react, and resolve disagreements with understanding and grace. Cultivating dispassion begins with self-awareness. Checking in with ourselves on a regular basis, recognizing our emotional triggers, and knowing our patterns helps to build space between stimuli and response. In that space, we have the opportunity to choose our reactions, to act with intention rather than impulse. And, while dispassion may appear to be a detachment from life's pleasures, it actually improves them. By not being unduly concerned with the outcome, we may fully immerse ourselves in the journey, appreciating each moment without fear of loss or change. Dispassion is about achieving balance in an ever-changing world. It's a compass that points to inner serenity and gently guides us through life's various terrains. By embracing this technique, we not only improve our own lives, but also bring peace and clarity to others around us. Lesson number 4. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Life is full of opportunities to test our patience, resilience, and perspective. Our days are filled with experiences that elicit a wide range of emotions, from simple irritants like spilled coffee to more serious issues like arguments with loved ones. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of our emotions. A missed deadline, a scathing comment, or a forgotten anniversary can seem like the end of the world. But one powerful question can transform our perspective and provide clarity. Will this matter in 5 years? This simple but profound question acts as a mental time machine, bringing us to the future while also allowing us to reflect on the present moment. Suddenly, that heated fight or squandered chance is perceived in a new light. Most of the issues we are concerned about now will be forgotten footnotes in the larger drama of our life. Consider the issues and concerns you had 5 years ago. How many of them still carry weight today? How many have been overshadowed by fresh experiences, lessons, or memories? This discovery can be both humiliating and empowering. Using this question as a regular reference point helps us prioritize our priorities. It helps us discern between short-term setbacks and long-term ramifications. For example, while a poor day at work may feel overwhelming right now, it's only one day in a career that will last several decades. This approach also promotes resilience. When faced with hardship, reminding ourselves of the wider picture might help to reduce anxiety and enhance problem-solving skills. Instead of becoming weighed down by the difficulty at hand, we can strategize, adapt, and move forward, confident that time will provide clarity and solutions. However, it is not simply about diminishing our anxieties. This question also pushes us to focus on what is genuinely important. If we want our actions and decisions to be meaningful in the long run, we must invest in relationships, personal growth, and life-changing experiences. In a world that generally focuses on the now, "Will this matter in 5 years?" is a beacon that directs us toward a life of meaning, perspective, and peace. By addressing this issue on a frequent basis, we may negotiate life's ups and downs with grace, focusing our energy and attention on what actually matters. Lesson number 3: keep a Stoic journal. Journaling has been treasured throughout history and cultures, not only as a record of happenings, but also as a tool for introspection, growth, and clarity. The Stoics, with their emphasis on self-awareness and personal improvement, were not strangers to this technique. A Stoic journal is more than just a diary of daily events. It is a space for self-reflection, dialogue, and analysis of emotions, decisions, and reactions. It is the intersection of the external and interior worlds, where events are evaluated in light of personal values and beliefs. Imagine closing your day by describing not only what happened, but also how you responded. Why did a certain comment bother you? What caused that flash of joy during a routine task? By deconstructing our day, we can gain a better understanding of our psychological tendencies. We begin to recognize the triggers that influence our mood, the values that inform our actions, and the routines that shape our days. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, kept a journal known today as Meditations. It was not intended for publication, rather, it was a personal dialogue in which he could advise himself, remind himself of Stoic ideas, and handle life's obstacles with wisdom. His writings depict a man dealing with his obligations, feelings, and role in the universe. A Stoic notebook, however, is not only useful for emperors. Setting aside time for contemplation is even more important in today's world, which is full with diversions and a constant assault of information. A daily check-in is a grounding routine that provides clarity in the midst of chaos. Over time, this practice can yield significant insights. You may realize that certain events consistently create stress, forcing you to confront them or shift your attitude. You may discover that specific techniques, such as gratitude or mindfulness, improve your mood and outlook. The patterns that emerge can serve as a guide for personal development. Beyond insights, a Stoic diary promotes accountability. By committing to daily reflection, we hold ourselves accountable for our behaviors and choices. It gets more difficult to ignore repeated mistakes or lapses in judgment. Instead, we are encouraged to learn, adapt, and develop. In essence, keeping a Stoic notebook is like having a knowledgeable, non-judgmental buddy at your side who is always available to listen, reflect, and lead. It is a dedication to personal development, better understanding oneself, and leading a life consistent with one's values and principles. Lesson number 6: true, seeing obstacles as opportunities. The world is full of problems. Obstacles are fundamental in the human experience, ranging from personal losses to global upheavals. But what if, instead of considering these issues as obstacles, we saw them as possibilities disguised? Stoics had a powerful outlook on adversity. They thought that, while we cannot always control the events that occur in our lives, we can control how we interpret and respond to them. This adjustment in viewpoint transforms problems from mere setbacks into useful lessons. A phrase from the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius nicely summarizes this idea. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This suggests that if we choose to consider every obstacle as a chance for growth, we may urge ourselves forward. Consider a river that comes upon a boulder in its way. Instead of pausing, the water finds a way around it, either by gradually eroding the boulder or cutting a new course. The boulder, a seemingly insurmountable hurdle, transforms into a change agent, modifying the river's route. Similarly, obstacles in our lives can change our trajectories, frequently leading to unexpected outcomes. For example, a job loss, while initially heartbreaking, could lead to a new professional path, an opportunity to upskill, or even the opportunity to establish one's own business. A failed relationship may pave the way for personal development, self-discovery, and deeper, more meaningful interactions in the future. This Stoic perspective also promotes resilience. When we see obstacles as opportunities, we become more adaptive and willing to confront adversity head-on. Rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we begin to ask, "What can I learn from this?" How may this experience change me for the better? Of course, this does not imply that we should seek out obstacles or ignore actual difficulties. It's about understanding that every obstacle contains potential, a seed of opportunity. We can turn barriers into stepping stones for growth, wisdom, and fulfillment by nurturing this seed with a positive attitude, patience, and perseverance. Lesson number 7: Tree. Practicing gratitude. Gratitude shines as a golden thread through the wide fabric of human emotions, bringing moments of joy, serenity, and perspective into our lives. While thankfulness might occur spontaneously, the Stoics believed in making it a regular habit to ground oneself in the present moment and appreciate life's blessings. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It is a profound recognition of the numerous forces, moments, and people who enhance our lives. It's about seeing the beauty in the ordinary, learning from the difficulties, and appreciating how transient each experience is, making it all the more valuable. Seneca, a well-known Stoic philosopher, once remarked, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This is the core of gratitude, being thoroughly rooted in the present, cherishing every moment, experience, and contact. Consider the little pleasures that we frequently take for granted. The warmth of the sun on a cold day, the sound of laughter, a meal shared with loved ones, even the very breath that keeps us alive. By pausing to observe and enjoy these moments, we enhance their beauty and relevance in our lives. Practicing gratitude also serves as a counterbalance to the human tendency to focus on what is lacking, unfulfilled aspirations, or future uncertainties. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we foster contentment, eliminate jealousy and resentment, and improve our overall well-being. One might wonder how to cultivate this habit. It can be as easy as beginning or closing each day with a list of 3 things for which you are grateful. Over time, this practice can change your perspective, making you more open to life's blessings and more resilient in the face of adversity. Additionally, thankfulness fosters relationships. By expressing gratitude for acts of generosity, support, or love from others, we strengthen ties, build mutual respect, and create a positive feedback loop of goodwill and affection. In a culture that frequently stresses more goods, accomplishments, and desires, gratitude serves as a gentle reminder of the wealth that already exists in our lives. It is a call to celebrate the present moment, to welcome life with open arms, and to walk the road of existence with a grateful heart. As the sun sets on another day, we are left with the echoes of old knowledge in our contemporary environment. How will you use these Stoic teachings to shape your future? We are happy to hear your opinions and experiences. Share your thoughts in the comments section below, and let's continue our adventure of self-discovery together. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for joining us. Until next time, remain curious, grounded, and never stop pursuing insight.